it's accessible.
And what does that mean, Hallie?
It means that everybody can go on the park.
And I'm Jim Sanders. I'm with the Ontario Parks Association. I'm here as part of our accessibility course training to talk about accessible parks. I'm here in Stait Park in the town of Fergus. So I'd like to introduce you to Andy Spears. He's one of the town community leaders that pulled this together. Andy, I'm hoping you can tell us a bit more about the park itself and how it came to be.
Absolutely. Well, it all started with my son Asher being born, and Asher was born with Down syndrome, and so my wife and I started looking at ways in the community in which we could get involved with special needs, and we saw that there was a massive need for a playground in Fergus to be accessible. We have 22 parks and playgrounds in Centre Wellington, and 0 of them had any accessible components at all, so we thought this would be the project to do it. Myself being a phys ed teacher, my wife being a special needs teacher, we really believe in the power of learning through play. So we gathered a couple of other community members in our neighborhood here and decided to do something with our local park.
Excellent. Well, you've done a lot here, and perhaps we'll take a look at the sign here. We've got some of the sponsorships and background in it. This park was just developed in July of this year. Now we'll take a look at the park itself and some of the structures that were brought in.
When we were designing this this playground, we wanted to make sure that when we thought of accessibility that we were looking at all different aspects of accessibility. I think as a society we think too much as just wheelchair accessible, but we wanted to, with our son being having Down syndrome, we wanted to look at other difficulties as well too. So like we thought of colors with autism, but we also look at like picture communication symbol boards, and this is kind of the entrance of the playground. And so a child that's non-verbal, such as my son probably for quite some time, is able to come up and point to whether they're happy or tell to watch them, or this is what I want to play on. So very, very important to have something like this to help out those kids. So this has actually been a very popular board from watching kids at this play structure, and this is on the back of the picture communication board, and it's sign language, the alphabet and sign language, and I actually see kids coming up and standing right in front and actually practicing their sign, able-bodied kids, and I think that that's really important, that by teaching kids about some of these differences, that they're going to learn to accept those differences as well too. So it's really neat to see any kid be able to do this. All right, so like we showed you on the back of this manipulation board, we've got also picture braille on this side, so you can learn numbers, you can learn different common words in braille for any visual impairment. And another thing that we were looking at doing for this playground, which will probably still be done, is for visual impairment, is to add little bumps at any opening, so that someone that is blind is able to feel with their feet to make sure that they're not going to fall off the edge. So those are a couple of things that we've done for visual difficulties.
As a community project, I can say there's certainly inspiration throughout the community and recognition of community members. And one in particular is at this park is from Patrick Anderson, or to Patrick Anderson. Perhaps you could tell us about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Pat's a good friend of mine and my wife's, and we thought that this was the perfect project to tribute Pat and all of his achievements. He's an inspiration to our community. He's a hero to our community. He's won 4 Paralympic medals, 3 gold Paralympic medals for Team Canada, and 1 silver in the last 4 Olympics. And he is, as I said, a true inspiration, and has overcome a lot, is from this community. And this is a great project to actually be able to honor him in.
Hi, Hallie. I'm just watching you go up that transfer station. Do you do that often at at the parks that you go to?
Yes.
Yeah? Do you have fun with that?
Yeah.
Yeah? It helps you get to the slide?
Yeah.
So you don't mind that at all?
No.
No. You're a pretty strong girl, though. Are you? Good for you. Okay, today I'm with Steve Howes from Play Power Canada. We just wanted to talk with Steve about how this play structure came to be from the manufacturing, supply, design aspect. Steve, you're a designer of many years, I'll just say, for Little Tykes, commercial play systems, Play Power. Perhaps I'll let you just talk about how you got to this point with this park.
Okay. We were originally contacted in May of 2012. Originally, the Township of Centre Wellington contacted us and said that we would be approached by a person who is organizing a community project. And then, sure enough, we got an email from Andy Spears, and that was May of 2012, and it gave a brief outline of what the township was looking for and what he was looking for, and also it gave almost a fantasy budget, I would say, a budget of where they hope to be maybe 2 years down the road in terms of how many funds they'd be able to raise. So at that point, we sat down and started to come up with a new design. We started out with almost a blank sheet of paper. It was a blank sheet of paper that had the site layout, site survey on it. And then we tried to incorporate as many playground features as possible with attention to children with disabilities, but not exclusively. As it was said at the grand opening for this park a couple weeks ago, this isn't a park for children with disabilities. It's a park for everybody, and we wanted to make sure that everybody would be able to use it, including children with a wide range of disabilities and parents or caregivers with a wide range of disabilities. So we started out with a design, and we focused on a ramped senior area to try and allow kids who are confined to wheelchairs or other mobility devices access to as much of the senior play structure as possible. With the junior structure, we opted to go with a transfer station approach. Plus, we wanted to bring in a number of different swinging features, as you might be able to see behind me. We submitted a preliminary proposal to Andy Spears and his group probably a month later, and his next step was to take those designs and post them on a board in the park, our design and designs from 3 other companies, and then they had people from the neighborhood and the community vote on which design they liked.
And you mentioned he had other companies, so you had.
So there were a total of four.
Companies?
There were a total of 4 companies who submitted proposals, and to be honest, when we prepared our design for this, it was very much on a speculative basis. We kind of thought, well, this project might happen. It might happen 2 years from now, and so we pulled out all the stops. We put in all the best features that we possibly could, and the real best part of this story is that just about a year later, they were ordering a playground, probably a year faster than everyone expected. The community came out to support this project in a very big way. Both individual contributions and companies from the Fergus area jumped in and contributed great funds. The group was able to succeed in some getting some funding from some government sources, and yeah.
We talked about that a bit, in that had this been a so-called traditional play structure that you've done many times over, even of this size as far as dollar value, without the accessibility aspect, that process, the speed, the support from the community probably wouldn't have been there. Do you find that in others?
Yeah, definitely. I think both in terms of individual sponsorships or donations and corporate donations. People like to get behind a project that's going to help a lot of people. And if you're going to deliver a park that allows everyone to play, children with disabilities and children that don't have disabilities, that's something everybody gets behind. And it really did help, I think, with the fundraising effort. And this was a very old park. Some of the equipment that was here originally had been here for a very, very long time. And I think the community was very excited that this small group of people had taken on the task of a very big project, and everybody got behind it.